But sometimes you ask yourself, where's the peace? Everybody always talking about peace, but as long as you find peace in what you're doing, then you're successful. And that's what people don't realize. So you got to do stuff to where you can go to sleep at night.
Because the glory is in you.
Should be moving now. Test. It's not even moving. Hold on. Testing. There it is. It's working out. Testing. Alright. So herbs that changed the world. Herbs did not just heal the body. They moved ships, built empires, started wars, created trade routes, shaped religion, influenced slavery, fed revolutions, and birthed modern pharmacy. So we're gonna get into this first one. It's the chino bark. Historically impacted change warfares, colonization, and malaria treatment. Chino bark contains quinine, one of the most important anti-malarial compounds in history. Europeans empires used quinine to survive tropical regions where malaria had previously limited colonization. This herb helped open Africa, South America, and Asia into deeper imperial penetration. Medical role: anti-malaria, fever reducer, bitter tonic. Cultural meaning: a medicine of survival, but also a tool for the empire. Yeah, so let's I already got it pulled up. So this is how malaria looks. This is the bark right here. And my shit moving so slow. So make everything moving slow for some reason. Good thing I'm recording, so I can just I can edit this and drop it again if I feel like it. But yeah, this is how it looks right here. It's I guess they have another name for it, Jesuit bark. That's how it looks on the tree. So I'm guessing it's a little more like a bush. This is the scientific drawing. Let's look at some more images before we get into it. So okay, so I'm guessing this is how it's served up here. Yeah, it's just bark. So let's get into let's get into a little bit of videos.
Cinchona bark. If you've ever had Campari or gin or just tonic water, you definitely would have tasted it. It's the source of the alkaloid quinine, which gives tonic water its characteristic bitterness. The Andean fever tree, where the famous brand of tonic water takes its name from, and its incredible curative properties, was discovered as a fever remedy in the 17th century in South America. Today, the brand fever tree sources its quinine from the Democratic Republic of Congo. But the tree is native to the Andean jungles of South America, and its discovery is shrouded in mystery. Legends, stories of its medicinal properties became apparent to the Spanish in the early 1630s. Most recent historians and anthropologists point to indigenous healers as the first to use the bark medicinally. Some sources report that Jesuit missionaries saw the indigenous Quechua using the bark to aid those who were shivering. One tale recounts the story of the Spanish Countess of Chinchon being cured of a recurring fever by using a remedy made from the bark. In the early 17th century, the bark was ground into a powder and mixed in with wine. But it was in 1820 when two French scientists, Pierre Peltier and Joseph Caventou, actually extracted the quinine from the cinchona bark. Not only did it improve the potency of the medicine, it also made quinine more versatile. It's the 19th century and the role of quinine in treating malaria has spread. Cinchona trees were planted all across the British colonies to avoid importing the drug, which would have been expensive. Now, we know quinine is very bitter, so how do you get people to actually have any of it? It gets mixed in with sugar and fizzy water, and there you are, the first tonic water has been created. Tonic water is far more than just cinchona bark. It also has citric acid. It has a sweetener, whether that's natural or artificial, to counteract the intense bitterness of the quinine, and it also has botanicals, which are aromatic. These are the same botanicals that you'd find in gin, things like allspice, elderflower, ginger, lavender, lemongrass. It was in 1858 it became a legitimate product and patented by the businessman Erasmus Bond under the name tonic water. Johann Schwepp, a Swiss scientist, followed in 1870 with Indian tonic water. In those days, tonic water was marketed as a digestive and just a general tonic water. It didn't take off straight away, and it did much better in hot countries, and it was marketed as a kind of tonic for European travellers to acclimatise to hot weather. Eventually, tonic water...
Right here I got, is this it? Yeah, this is it. Can y'all see that? Yeah, you can see that. Right here I got the Sachina bark. And I got it in my notebook. If you don't have notebook, LM is AI that pulls the sources out of books. It don't really pull the sources from the internet unless you give it information from the internet. But I pulled up Sachona. Usually in the beginning when you if you pull up the sources, to give you the sources and the numbers right here. So I'm gonna show you the books that it refers to. The Handbook of Medical Herbs. Let's look at that book real quick. We got so much. Let's go to the top. Am I spelling it right? I don't think I'm spelling it right. Where is that? Is this the same thing? No. This is it. I think that's right. Oh yeah, this is it right here. Damn, this book $300. But yeah, this is the book right here. The Handbook of Medicinal Herbs. This book costs $300. If you want the PDF, I have the PDF in my Discord. My Discord link is in the bio. But in the next book we're gonna look at is what else books they got in here? Back to Eden. Back to Eden by Jethro Cross. This is an old book, but this is a classic though. And the last book is, I think they put out more sources though. I could be wrong, cause I got all these sources over here that it's really pulling from. So also want to get into the astrological signs of the plants and the spiritual side of the plants. That's what I really want to look into with these books. But what was the other one? Handbook of African Medical Plants. Let me go back one. Getting hungry. This book costs a lot of money too. This is the Handbook of African Medicinal Plants. It's a good book too. It costs a lot on Kindle too. God damn. Okay, let's get into this. So it gets into therapeutic actions. If you wanna pause it and screenshot it, you can. I'm not gonna get into it because I got a lot of herbs I gotta get through tonight. The videos I added the videos to give you more clarification so you can know what is primary uses, malaria treatments, this digestive support, nervous system and pain, respiratory health. Here we go, magical and spiritual applications and magical folk traditions. Shachina is considered as a luck drawing herb, particularly for financial gain. Gambling luck to increase chances of winning at bingo or the other racetrack. This herb is carried in a yellow bag along with tonka beans. Warding off bad vibes, practitioners may wipe their gambling cards or ticket with this herb bag to remove bad vibes and ensure consistent winning. Preparation and doses. You can screenshot that. Safety and contradictions. They got pregnancy on here. Cinchona is strictly concentrated during pregnancy as a cause of urine contractions and can act as an absorbent fit or whatever. Cinchonaism. Repeated high doses can lead to a cluster of symptoms known as synchronism, including rings in the ear, tinnitus deafens, nausea, and visual disbalance. Toxicity. The lethal doses of refined quinine in adults is approximately 8 grams, though death has occurred at doses as low as 2 grams. So this is a very powerful herb right here. Interaction, it may potentially affect the column derivatives, blood thinners, and should be avoided by those with gastrotestosterone ulcers. So don't get scared by the safety precautions. It's still a good plant, just take it in high doses. Can't be out there going all crazy with it. Let's also get into the zodiac. I already pulled that up right here. Oh yeah, I want to see what books they pulling these from. Okay. So this comes from Papa Jim Herbal Magic book workbook. That's a that's a good book. Let's see, pull that up real quick. Papa Jim. Let's pull up that. See what that pop up. Papa Jim's. I didn't even spell it right. Here, this is it right here. Papa Jim's. They got weed on Amazon. Fuck. But this is Papa Jim's Herbal Magic book. I also have the PDF for this too. Let's get to the zodiac signs. By source details, astrological correspondence for over 70 or other herbs such as chamomile under Leo and Natal and Scorpion. Citrona primarily discussed as largely as its pharmaceutical properties as the source of quinine and the magical folk use. However, applying these principles to the medical astrology and plant therapy actions describes in the sources, we can infer several potential astrology associations. Aries, Fug, and anti-infective action. Plant action. Citrina is mostly famous and powerful for beverage. I guess fever reducer. That's what that means. And a antibiotic use for centuries to treat intermittent fevers like malaria. Sign rulership. This medical astrology Aries, ruled by Mars, governs complaints of the inflammatory or feverish type. Herbs of Mars are described as fiery stimulants used to treat colds or sluggish conditions and are often associated with fighting infections. Gemini and Mercury, respiratory and nervous system support, plant action. This source note that Citrona experts in healing influences on the lungs. Let me turn the music back on. Plant action. These sources are read out and influence on the lungs, and useful for phenomena, and it also has a significant impact on nervous system used to treat neglortia and epilepsy. Signs of rulership. Gemini rules by Mercury, governs the lungs and the respiratory system. Mercury also rules the nervous system and thinking abilities, suggestion, and a renaissance with Citrina role in treating nervous disabilities. Leo sun, heart, and chest affinities. Plant action. Sachina is described as a cordopressant, and it is used for protracting congestion in the throat and chest. These are some crazy medical words. Medical words are like science words. Sign rulership Leo, ruled by the sun, governs the heart and the arterial circulation of the back. So I guess this could be like the planet sun, moon, and rising, I guess. So this is the summer primary Aries Mars due to aggression and anti fever and anti-malaria. Damn 15, 16, 18. What's half of 18? 8. I'm gonna have to get into 8 of these and then I do the rest. I do a part 2. Okay, the next we're gonna get into is willow bark. History that impact ancestors and aspirin. Willow bark contains saline, what's that shit called? They put in you whatever, saline, whatever, which helps inspires development of modern aspirin. Ancient Egyptians, Greeks, and indigenous healers use willow bark for pain and fever long before pharmaceutical companies sensualize. I don't know, that's a something acid. Medical role: pain relief, fever, inflammation. Warning: it can irritate the stomach and may interact with blood thinners. I believe this. No. So this was willow bark. That's let's look at how it looks. I guess that's the tree right here. I've seen these trees before. Where they grow at in Florida? Yeah, I see this tree all the time. This where aspirin come from? Willow bark. From the willow tree? That's crazy. Nigga walk past the willow tree every day. I don't think about aspirin. So now let's get into some visuals, some videos. What's next? Oh, I forgot to go over this one. This girl was talking about it. I guess it froze on me. That's why I didn't start it. I need to probably download these videos. Damn, my connection.
So I was in the store in the international market again, and I came across the Sakona bark. This bark is what the foreigners came across when, to help fight off malaria with the people that they brought here. Because they noticed that the Aboriginal people here was resistant to malaria. And we offered them, or our ancestors offered them, the Sakona tree. Pieces of the Sakona tree to help them fight off malaria. This is a bitter. It even smells bitter. So you can use it as a tonic. Know yourself and know your body before you just go putting anything in it. Okay? I'm just sharing this with y'all for educational purposes. That's it. That's all. So I was in...
Welcome back to the series where I teach you what herbs you need to have in your medicine cabinet for everyday health and for emergencies. My name is Brianna, I'm an herbalist, and I'm excited to guide you through this. Today's herb is one of those that we will all want to have on hand for natural pain relief, and it's called white willow bark, also known as Salix alba. White willow bark is nature's aspirin, and it's actually the original source of aspirin that we know. It contains salicin, which the liver converts into salicylic acid, and white willow bark provides a very similar effect to the aspirin that we know, but with way fewer side effects. Along with its pain relieving effects, white willow bark is also an amazing anti-inflammatory. It's great for ailments like rheumatism, arthritis, sciatic pain, fevers, headaches, and aches and pains of all kinds, including neurological discomforts. Because white willow bark is a bark, you can consume it by creating a decoction. Simmer a few tablespoons on low heat for about 5 minutes. The next way is by drinking it in tincture form. You can take about 40 drops in the liquid of your choosing and dose it every few hours depending on your condition. White willow bark is an absolute must for any at-home medicine cabinet. Welcome back to the series.
Peace, everybody.
Hold on. It should say 53 minutes.
Hey, y'all.
I thought this was like a 10-minute lecture she was gonna get into, but she talks about the spiritual benefits of willow bark.
Opioids.
I think that was it for that. All right, now so let's get into the next one. The next one we're gonna get into is opiate poppy. Historical impact, medicine addiction, empire, and war. The opium poppy gave humanity morphine, codeine, and later heroin. It's revolutionized surgery and pain management, but also fueled opium wars, colonial exportation, and global narcotics economies. Medical role. Powerful pain relief, cough suppression, and sedation. Historical shadow, one of the clearest examples of medicine to become weaponized commerce. So let's look at the opium plant. Let's see what it looks like. This is crazy. It's a beautiful plant, and it's used for drugs. This shit look dangerous though. This look dangerous right here. Like the way that's look right here. I wouldn't know what the fuck. I should like some shit off the Namek, the Namekian planet. This is a scientific drawing, I guess. That's a pretty good scientific drawing. God damn. I didn't even do all that. But yeah. So let's get into some videos.
Opioids. Opioids are painkillers that come from the opium poppy, or are made synthetically in labs. They're used medically as morphine or oxycodone, but on the street, they show up as heroin or fentanyl. They're swallowed, smoked, snorted, or injected, and all work the same way. They attach to opioid receptors in your brain and body, blocking pain and flooding you with euphoria. The onset brings warmth, comfort, and relief. A deep, heavy calm that feels like safety itself. Pain fades, stress disappears, and your body melts. It's not an energetic high. It's like sinking into the world's softest blanket. At the peak, everything slows. Breathing becomes shallow, your heartbeat slows, and thoughts drift. It's bliss. but dangerously close to unconsciousness. Many users chase that feeling, but each time it's shorter, weaker, harder to reach. Then comes the come down, and it's brutal. Anxiety, muscle pain, nausea, sweating, insomnia. Every nerve in your body screams for the drug again. That's withdrawal. It doesn't just make you want more. It makes life unbearable without it. Opioids are among the most addictive substances known. They rewire the brain's survival system, teaching it that the drug is as essential as air. Over time, they destroy tolerance, organs, relationships, everything. The warmth they give in the beginning is the same.
My shit just disconnected. Why is it doing that? My bad, y'all. My connection was disconnected. I thought it would be good if I stream at night. Ain't nobody streaming. Nobody's on the internet. Matter of fact, cut my TV off. Maybe that's it. Alright, let's get back into the video. I only got a couple seconds.
Warmth they take away from everything else in life.
Opioids, they converted all their food production to opium poppy because it's profitable, right? And as a result, by 2009, after 8 years of, American control or occupation or whatever your politics want you to call it, they accounted for 93% of the world's heroin. So I wanted to go to Afghanistan, and I wanted to investigate this. I was the senior investigator on the Senate Foreign Relations Committee, working for John Kerry at the time.
Your favorite guy.
Yeah, my favorite guy. Yeah. There's a lot to say about John Kerry. So I'm so grossly disappointed in John Kerry.
Yeah.
So I got the concurrence of the American Embassy in Kabul. I flew out to Afghanistan, and I went to Bagram Air Base. And I had trouble immediately. I said that I wanted to go to Kandahar province and Helmand province in the south. That was the center of poppy cultivation. And they didn't want to fly me. And I did something that I never, ever do. I pulled rank. And I said, listen, I'm a senior staffer of the Senate Foreign Relations Committee. I have the rank of Brigadier General. I'm not asking you to fly me. I'm telling you we're going to fly down there.
What was the reaction?
Somebody start up the chopper. I had never done that before. In fact, once I went to Afghanistan, and we were on a 16-seat military plane going to Dubai to catch a commercial flight back to D.C., and it was a whole bunch of generals and a handful of us staffers. And 16 seats on the plane, there were 17 of us. And so this general says, oh, I'll stay behind another day. I go, absolutely not. I'm not going to be responsible for a general not making it home after finishing his tour in Afghanistan. He said, no, you outrank me. I said, absolutely not. And so I stayed another day in Kabul so he could go home to his family. But anyway, that took me off the subject. So I go to Kandahar. They converted all their food production to opium poppy because it's profitable.
I bet them bees higher than a mother.
The poppy has been putting people to sleep, sometimes permanently, for 5,000 years. Opium poppy cultivation in Mesopotamia dates to around 3400 BC. Welcome to the Witch's Apothecary, where perfumery meets folk magic. The fascinating part about poppy from a perfumery perspective is that it produces almost no volatile compounds. No essential oil absolute or CO2 extract exists, at least at any commercial scale. So every poppy note in perfumery is a fantasy accord. The perfume is not the flower, it's the idea of the flower, and for poppy there's a lot to go off of because it's a very magical plant. In Greek mythology, poppies were associated with hypnos, sleep, and his brother, Thanatos, death. Demeter was said to have created the poppy so she could sleep through her grief while Persephone was in the underworld. Morpheus, the god of dreams, slept in a cave full of poppy seeds. Morphine was named after Morpheus himself. In folk magic, poppy is associated with dreams. In Scott Cunningham's Encyclopedia of Magical Herbs, he says if you wish to know the answer to a question, write it on a piece of paper, put it in a poppy seed pod, and put it under your pillow, and it will come to you in a dream. Cortana Perfumes has a fragrance called Poppy Soma, which might just be my favorite of theirs. It's spicy, juicy, floral, and intense in the very best way. If you've been watching my videos for a while, you probably know that I'm very picky about florals, but this is a good one. Follow for more perfume and magic.
Okay, so gonna get into let's get into the you seen it was used for MK Ultra and all kinds of stuff. This is a powerful plant. But yeah. What book is this? Lost Book of Herbal Remedies. I got that book. This is another book right here too. Oh, I didn't even know it was popping up right there. This is right here. They got a number 2. I'm about to find that. But yeah, this is the book of herbal. Lost Book of Herbal Remedies. There was another book on here. The what? Serene. This it right here. Yeah. I think this is it. I got this book and I also have this book too. Changing Rights. I should I don't even think I have to add it in there in my sources. But yeah. It's just more for the indigenous use of the plant. Oh, wrong one. Let's go here. Okay, opium poppy therapeutic actions. The source classify opium as a extensive range of biological activities, most notably actions as a analgesic, hypnotic, narcotic, and sedative. It also recognized as a antispasmodic. We're gonna skip past these big words. I don't know, I'm not finna butcher them words. Plus I'm from Florida, I don't even speak that good. But yeah, primary medicinal uses: pain and respiratory relief, digestive support, I didn't know that. It's used to treat diarrhea. Various afflictions. Its sources used to conditions ranging from bronchitis, anxiety, and fevers. Oncology, is documented and treated as numerous different types of cancers, including those with bladder, breast, and so this can give you cancer. The spiritual and medical properties, astrological rulership. According to Romani law and the tradition, astrological medicine, the poppy is ruled by the planet Venus and the zodiac sign Taurus. The roots of health. Let's look at that book real quick. I don't think they're gonna have this on here. Let me see. That's the name of the book. The Roots of Health by Leon something. This is it right here. The Roots of Health. Gives you all the signs. It don't give you every plant, but based on the properties of the plant, you can figure out its sign. Cause this book only has maybe 70 plants or something like that. But it tells you some of these parts, I ain't gonna go through it, but it tells you sometimes based on the properties and how it is, it does that. Ritual magic and magical tradition, poppy seeds are used to confuse or to dominate an enemy. This is typically done by inscribing the target's name in a brown candle and rubbing it with poppy seeds and confusion oil during a full moon. Your Vedic intergetics and your Vedic traditions, poppy is known as this moon's poison. Serpent's poison. It is classified as having a talismanic quality, meaning it introduces sleep and can dull the mind or inhibit awareness with long-term use. However, it is considered effective for bringing down psychological imbalances associated with high vata. Preparation and uses. You can screenshot this. Syrup made from the flowers. And these are the safety and contradictions. Addiction and toxicity. Opium is highly addictive and it carries significant risk of overdose, symptoms of poisoning, including clinose, pupil constriction, cold clamming skin, and a weak pulse, potentially leading to death through respiratory and circulatory failure. Dose is dangerous while addicts may tolerate higher downs, a little as 300 milligrams of opium can be fatal to non-tolerant individuals. Precautions in use is contradictive for individuals with gastrics, clotis, and high penta due to the potency used. Any use beyond the seed would be monitored by medical professionals. So this all coming from the same few books. Oh, this is yoga right here. Yoga and herbs. I guess let me show you that one too. We're gonna get into the next one. Yoga and herbs. It's a very good book right here. Yoga and herbs, as you can see it, by Dr. who? David Frawley and Bastin Lad. Bastin Lad. Let's get into the next one. Tobacco. Historically, impact. Built colonial economies and fueled the Atlantic plantation system. Tobacco was sacred among the indigenous people of the Americas, used in ceremonies for prayer, often offering diplomacy and spiritual communication. Europeans converted it into a mass commodity, making it essential to colonial wealth, slavery, and addiction economies. Medicinal and spiritual roles, ceremonial smoke offerings, it secondicidal uses. Foreign modern commercial tobacco is strongly linked to cancer, carnivore disease, and respiratory illness. Okay, so let's get into some visuals. Give it a second. Is my shit running slow or something?
Hey guys, did you know historically our elders would take the roots off a tobacco plant? They would make it into a paste or a salve, or they would dry it out and make it into a powder. They would use these remedies for pain relief, swelling, cuts and...
I think I just disconnected. I hate when my stream does that.
Boss, cause you already know that it's you. Work hard for the money when your pockets should drop. Being careful with the words coming out of your mouth. Country girl with a little slang whenever she talk, and kinda sassy, cause she know what she talking about. Yeah.
I did not know.
Girls with some rules. God bless my girls with some rules. Come on. Hey guys.
Okay, I gotta read this page again because it's messed me up. Yo. Reading page 599, the end of it. Zoom in here. I gotta read this again. This is about the Brazilians. The aged Brazilians have, for the most part, a great skill in herbs, which they gather in the woods and apply them to the sick, both inwardly and outwardly. And chiefly, they know how to expel poison, whatever that is. Poison. You know how to spell poison. None can persuade them against the medicines which they have learned from their predecessors. Nay, they will rather choose to lose their lives than to use any other. And indeed, they do not always successful aims, but more manifest that they understand the virtue of the herbs better than our European physicians. The learned Gualtunius Pilsois relates that have
She
seen
sound like
several
me.
times in the army which grave Marcy sent against the Portugals in Brazil, that the Brazilians in a short time cured those wounds which the gums have healing herbs, which the Netherland Churchishans, judging past cure, presently advise cutting off their arm, a leg, or wound in person. Piso adds, moreover, that himself has some of the Hippocrates in bronze prescriptions in wine for curing of cancers and swelling, which the Brazilians have made well only with the juice of tobacco. They also in the moment recovered a person, giving all by the European physicians, with the juice of the root called jaborandi. Wherefore he always desired their company when he went to visit sick or wounded men. The tempters of America differ from much of Europe, not only.
I'm gonna pause that right there because I don't know how long that's gonna be. I can't even see the thing at the bottom. Well, I should have getting into it. I'm gonna still like 15 more seconds.
Only in the signs of many distempers, I don't know what that word is, but also in the cure. For when a distemper cannot be cured by the prescribed medicines, a father or mother sends for the neighbors to know if they can find any means to cure the disease, which the customs was anciently observed among the Greeks. They also strictly observed the rule of the diet, to take care and to keep the patient out of the sun of the day and the cold winds in the night. However, in their fathers' and mothers' sake, nevertheless.
Nicotine isn't what you think it is. Listen, nicotine isn't the villain. Cigarettes are, vapes are, but nicotine itself, it might just be one of the most misunderstood molecules in modern medicine. So what exactly is nicotine? Nicotine is a natural plant alkaloid found in plants, fruits, and vegetables like tobacco, tomatoes, potatoes, green peppers, eggplants. So yeah, you've probably already consumed it. Now, nicotine is a stimulant like caffeine, but it works on the acetylcholine system. Caffeine works with adenosine and dopamine receptors. Caffeine blocks adenosine, which actually promotes relaxation and sleep, and it boosts your dopamine, which is associated with pleasure, motivation, and more cravings. Nicotine is an acetylcholine agonist, so it binds to those receptors and it helps to boost focus, memory, alertness, neurocognition, neuroprotection. So there are several published scientific studies that show that it's actually great for these brain functions. These scientific studies show that when nicotine is used in a clean and controlled manner, it has all these benefits. So everything from improving your attention to your executive function is shown to help in ADHD, Parkinson's, and mild cognitive decline. Parkinson's main issue is with the acetylcholine receptors. It helps to reduce brain inflammation via the anti-inflammatory pathway that's based on the cholinergic system. It's used off-label for biohacking, and you've probably seen the likes of Andrew Huberman talk about this. It boosts your memory, and it actually improves your reaction and reflex time. Other potential therapeutic applications for the use of nicotine include mood regulation, treatment of depression, Alzheimer's disease, ulcerative colitis, Tourette syndrome, schizophrenia. And no, this does not involve smoking or vaping. This is via transdermal patch, about 1 to 3 milligrams that you can use daily. So transdermal application means that you're bypassing the lungs. But there are some caveats with the use of nicotine. And remember, everyone's different. There are no cookie cutter protocol. These are just general suggestions. So based on your pharmacogenetics and how you metabolize things, and there are tests that you can take that can actually show how you respond to medications, for example. So nicotine can be addictive, yes. It can raise heart rate and blood pressure. It is not safe for casual daily use without first understanding your body and what you're actually using nicotine for. But neither is caffeine in the wrong hands, or alcohol, or Tylenol. So you have to be careful with the use of it and make sure you understand what you're treating. Nicotine is even good for appetite suppression. So bottom line is nicotine isn't evil. It's a tool, and like any tool, you have to understand how to use it. And make sure you understand your body, what you're treating, and talk to your physician about if it's right for you. Remember, the dosage is low. It's about 1 to 3 milligrams. And I always tell my patients, because you can buy these things over the counter, you have to be really careful with the quality and what you're getting. I think it's time that we stop demonizing this molecule and start educating ourselves a little better, because a lot of information that's put out there, remember, it's like mass information and these guidelines, and when they're put out there, we think we have to follow it, and we just take that word. But you have to understand, a lot of these natural remedies have been used for thousands and thousands of years in ancient medicine, especially Ayurvedic medicine and ancient Chinese medicine. So get a grip, understand what you're using it for, understand your body. There are no cookie cutter protocols. And I'm curious, would you ever try the nicotine patch for your focus and mental clarity? So drop your thoughts. Let's talk science, not stigma.
Today's episode is all about nicotine, which is a fascinating and important compound to know about and understand. First of all, it is one of the few compounds that we are aware of that can increase mood, alertness, focus, cognition, and yet enhance relaxation at the same time. That said, the delivery devices by which most people bring nicotine into their system to achieve those effects are absolutely detrimental to mental and physical health. And those are smoking, dipping, snuffing, and vaping. Most people want to quit those practices, and yet they want the positive effects of nicotine, or at least they want to avoid the effects of nicotine withdrawal. So in today's episode, I talk about what nicotine is good for and some potential safe.
Yeah, I don't know what this guy talking about. I don't even know where he came from. What's next?
Nicotine is a known antidote to venom, all venoms. Most venoms from every snake, scorpion, spider, they target alpha-7 nicotine receptors, and this is why all the Native Americans historically forever used the tobacco plant to heal their animals and their people from the bites of snakes that were deadly to them. Rattlesnakes would bite them, they would just take tobacco leaves and wrap it around the wound, and then the nicotine would be absorbed into the body and actually save the life of the person. They know this. Tobacco has been a medicinal plant known for 5,000 years on record as healing conditions. So why the effort to ban it? And it's one nutrient called nicotine.
Y'all, I found a plant that is used as a substitute to smoking tobacco.
This right here is called rabbit's tobacco.
That allow other things bigger who do want to come into your body direct access to the physical body. The funny thing is, I love this about the smoking thing. We don't endorse smoking, by the way. It's kind of like, it has been a tool for me. I smoke like a chimney. Why? Because I needed to keep clear fields. There are other ways to do it. The more we build up the energy, I'm not saying go out and smoke, but it creates astral mucus in the field, which works like the little tin hats do, all right? Where it makes a barrier that when they're hitting you with psychotronics, it doesn't make them work as much. And that's why the Metatronic troops hate smoking, right? Whole world campaign at this point to stop smoking, right? It's not about, oh, it's bad for your health. It's, oh, it's bad for your mind control, all right? Yeah, it's not great for your health. It does tax the system. I'm not saying go out and smoke. But I am saying, please have little tolerance for smokers, because maybe they're trying to keep themselves in body, and that right now, that is helping them at the moment until they can upgrade to where it's a better thing. Because that's another thing that you like to, oh, how can you smoke? You know, my gods tell me I should do this and that kind of stuff. Well, whatever. Go ahead, I'm sure if you're doing Metatron, they're going to tell you not to smoke, because it depends on getting psychotronicked all the time. If you want to get your bodies back, you don't have to go out and smoke cigarettes. They're good in an emergency where you feel something's coming in at you and you want to try to block it. We teach the techniques that once you get these down and get these flows open in your field, you don't have to go grab a cigarette to do it. I have not had the luxury of running through all these techniques before I got the techniques through. So I had to make do with what was available. And yes, it helped. Eventually, yes, I'll quit. And because it does, it's hard on the lungs, it is hard for the body, but it kept me in body and other things that didn't belong here out. So people who like to make judgments about smokers, especially the Mediterranean wine crew, I'm so tired of listening to that. And the disrespect toward other people. Oh, I'm so much better, I don't smoke. Oh, and I'm a vegetarian too, I'm sure, right? Oh, yeah, I forgot vegetables had faces too. Anyway, you don't need to...
Vegetables have faces.
Sorry about that. And believe me, I'm not endorsing smoking. It's a miserable habit. You cough a lot and that kind of stuff. So the techniques are better for you than the cigarettes, but at least you have them, to work with. Where when I started, I didn't, and now I've never had time to sit down and work with myself personally because I'm always doing mad dash to the workshop and getting the next level transmission down to the next workshop and stuff. One of these days, I will be able to sit down and with the techniques enough where I can quit smoking too, which I'd like to do because I'll get my singing voice back, right? So a lot of the karma that you have in your...
She said some real shit. I didn't know, like, smoking is used for protection. I think that was it for that one. What was this?
Spirituality and tobacco. This shit is so interesting, so just buckle up. I got shit to tell you. Native Americans have been using tobacco for ceremonial and medical purposes for centuries. This is a medicine with spiritual and cultural importance. Many tribes maintain teachings and stories about the origin of tobacco. These teachings address to tobacco in its purest form, today known as the tobacco plant Nicotiana rustica. It's so pretty! Traditional preparation of tobacco and use varies from different regions and different tribes. The native tribes that use tobacco in a spiritual way, they have one common teaching. This teaching involves having a good attitude and having good thoughts while working with spiritual tobacco. Spiritual tobacco is medicine. It can be used in a prescribed way to promote physical, spiritual, emotional, and community well-being. It can be used as an offering to the Creator or to another person, place, or being. A gift of spiritual tobacco is seen as a sign of respect. It can be offered when asking for help, guidance, or protection. Traditional tobacco can be used directly as spiritual medicine. It may be burnt in a fire or it can be smoked through a pipe. But here's the thing. The smoke is generally not inhaled. You're not supposed to inhale the smoke. Isn't that crazy? That's crazy. In many teachings, the smoke from burnt tobacco has a purpose of carrying thoughts and prayers and manifestations into the spirit world and into the universe. When used appropriately, spiritual tobacco is not associated with addiction or adverse health impacts. How tobacco is used in spirituality is so different from how it is used in normal society. I'm gonna make a part 2 where I talk about how society's way to use tobacco is really hurting and how it really downgrades your vibration.
Yo, that was powerful. Is this another one? Yeah, I guess I got one more.
I had some tobacco in Peru.
I know you had some tobacco in Peru. I know you did. And if you were in West Africa, if you were in the Caribbean, if you were in Cuba, it almost doesn't matter where you go. If you're having some type of spiritual rite or experience, tobacco is going to play a part in it. And why? Because it is cleansing and it is protective. If you took tobacco leaves that were dried and got them wet and scrubbed your skin with it, it would be cleansing for your skin as an antibacterial and antiseptic. You could soak it in your bath water and take a bath in it. You could use it on bug bites and it would stop the itching. You could smoke it and not smoke it, but suck in and blow the smoke out around someone to create a protective environment around their aura, their energy, their spirit, and their body. So tobacco plays some amazing roles in our spiritual toolkit.
I had some tobacco in Peru.
I know.
I've been very fortunate to know 5 grandmothers in my lifetime, biological,
got a lot of videos of
and 1 grandfather. The oldest of which was born in the 18.
I couldn't find any videos on cannabis like that. Like when I typed it in the search bar, it was nothing showing up. I might have to type in something different.
70s. Yes, 1870. So I'm an old head, but I ain't that old. 1870. She stayed with us for a time. We visited her in northwestern South Carolina, Cherokee land. I'll get into that conversation another time. I just want to share with you that our practices did evolve. We didn't always use cigarettes. She used tobacco because they grew tobacco. Now her daughter that was born at the turn of the 20th century started smoking cigarettes because she tried to change a little bit and become more urban in the 1920s. So we're talking about a 45-year span in which the practice changed. The grandmother, born in the 1870s, she used real tobacco. The grandmother born at the turn of the 20th century started smoking cigarettes. So we may want to think, hey, you got to have cigarettes in your hoodoo practice. Maybe. But understand that the closer that we got to integration, and especially after integration, we started doing what the European was doing. But before that, we were getting many of our tools from nature itself. So this isn't something that I had to read about. This is something that I know about. I'm just sharing with you to give you another perspective. If you're practicing ancestral veneration, understand the different eras that your grandparents and your great-grandparents and other ancestors lived in, so that you can get an idea of what they would have been doing at the time. I've been very fortunate.
You know what? My great-grandma, she smoked cigarettes, but she didn't start smoking. And I got another video. But she started smoking later, but she was born in the around 1920s. So that's very interesting right there. And fuck.
If you work for a good company that's pay good money, I don't care what country in the world, and you feel like that, your neighbor or your co-worker, they are being jealous because you have a great job. You have a job that pay good money, and they want to make you lose the job.
My connection failed. Hold on 1 second. Alright, it's back.
The only way they're gonna do it is through black magic. And the only way for you not to get hit by any evil spirit, all you need to do, you get 7 lime and some tobacco, the powder one. Every time you're going to work, you're gonna make sure that you take the lime juice, you mix it with the tobacco, and after that you put it under your shoes. What I mean by that, when you put your socks on, you put it right here under your feet and you put your shoes on. And whatever they are doing to unalive you or to hurt you with black magic, or to make your boss hate you, don't want to hire you no more and want to get rid of you, this is the only thing that's going to stop them. Try it, come back, you thank me later. And the reason why I post this video is because I receive so many calls, people saying that at my job people are doing this and that, people are doing evil thing. Get some tobacco. It's going to fix the problem. If you work for a good company that's pay good money.
So this comment is in regards to a video I posted where this comment is. So the point is to actually smoke the tobacco. The tobacco incense themselves won't necessarily work for this. But here's something that you can use tobacco incense for. When you are doing something in regards to obtaining a certain goal or a certain amount of something, or you're attracting something quickly, you can burn these incense when you are making coffee for yourself or your ancestors. While the incense is lit and while you're making your coffee, make sure you have the intentions of all the things that you want as far as what you're attracting and what you're manifesting. Then when your coffee is done, make sure you get you a nice good old gold spoon. Silver is fine, but gold is better. Start stirring your coffee counterclockwise and speak all the positive energies of what it is that you want to achieve inside your coffee. And once you complete that, then you're going to start to stir it clockwise while reading Psalm 23. So this,
I believe that's it for the tobacco. I forgot to show y'all the way the tobacco look, the plant. This is a scientific look. It's kind of small. Oh yeah, keep going down. But yeah, this is how tobacco looks when it's growing. I guess it has flowers growing on it too. So those flowers. It's a beautiful plant. So now let's get into the book. Okay, tobacco is primarily referred as a genus narcotica with the most common species of Nicotiana tabacum, widely used for commercial cultivation. Nicotiana ruscae is also known as a Hopi or Aztec tobacco. The sources, okay, it's from that one book. The sources present a dual nature of the plant characterizations and both highly sacred and spiritual teacher and destructive toxic poison. Spiritual and cultural significance. Tobacco is a sacred plant to many indigenous people of the Americas who view it as a messenger or a conduit to the spiritual world. Prayer and offerings it is used to carry prayers to the fourth winds of the universe and to open channels of communication between humans and spirits. Protection is considered as a powerful guardian plant that can be planted in gardens to protect a home or worn on the body of small or worn on the body of a small pouch as a amulet. Tobacco smoke is utilized across the Americas for birth, healing, and cleansing. Practitioners may blow smoke on themselves or others to move stuck energy. Masculine energy. In traditional birthing rituals, tobacco is used to facilitate labor and is believed to call forth masculine energy to a newborn baby. um, ethnomedical, ethnomedical, or typical use. Historically, tobacco has been applied to treat various physical afflictions, though the sources strongly warned that it could never be ingested. Typical applications: it is used to treat bites, burns, spraying, and inflammation, skin conditions, and analgesic and sedative in various folk conditions. In various folk conditions, it is classified as an anodyne, pain reliever, or a sedative used specifically for headaches and joint soreness. Insecticide, due to its toxic nature, is used as an affection. It used as effect. As acaricide, leviticide, and vermifuge to kill parasites, ticks, and mice. Cosmetic rinse, a decantation made with distilled water, dried tobacco, and vinegar is used as a effective herb rinse to stain the gray hair with at burn tones. That's another book I know about. Oh, this shit get into the Chinese and shit. Is this Chinese relations? So, these are the health risks and everything. I'm gonna go ahead and get into the rest of it because we all know the health risks of tobacco. What is this? It says tobacco cultivation played a central role in colonization and Atlantic slave trade. Europeans, such as the Dutch, historically used tobacco as a powerful bartending tool to trade for African cattle. A bartending tool. While some 19th century leaders used it as luxury, it was also frequently rationed to enslave people to support their physical endurance under the grueling conditions. Okay, so next is we only on 4. What time it is? Cannabis. I couldn't find any videos on cannabis, but we can get into cannabis too. Historically impact medicine, textile, ritual, crimination, and modern legalization movements. Cannabis has been used for fiber, food, oil, medicine, and spiritual rites across Africa, Asia, and the Middle East, and Americas. Hemp is vital for rope, sails, paper, and textiles. Later, cannabis became politically criminalized, often through radical propaganda. Medical role, pain, nausea, appetite, sleep, inflammation, seizures, disorder. Cultural meaning: a plant a plant and a nature, medicine, poison, politics, and economic reclamation. Matter of fact, I think I did find some I think I did find some stuff on cannabis, but it's on YouTube, so I have to go on YouTube to find it. Well, yeah, it's just the scientific drawing right here, cannabis. We all know what cannabis look like. We all smoke that shit. I guess this is the scientific formula. But let me see if I got some videos. I do. Hold on once. Well, yeah. I'll have to pull up YouTube. Hold on 1 second. One second, chat. Let me turn on some music for y'all too. I forgot about the music. YouTube. One second, chat. I'm almost there. Alright. I got it. Alright, let's switch. So, these are some shorts I found. I know some videos we can watch, but I'm not finna watch more videos right now.
And we were taught that cannabis is bad for you. And it turns out that there are some medical benefits to cannabis and to cannabinoids. This question is about risks long term. And so cannabis is not without side effects. So someone that tells you that there are no negatives to cannabis is lying, just like any chemical. So if you take a medicine like Lyrica is a neuropathic pain medicine. It's a seizure medicine. It can help prevent seizures. It can help prevent neuropathic pain. It can cause sedation and weight gain. It can cause liver damage. So cannabis has some potential side effects that we need to be thinking about. Cannabis can impair cognition, which is very, very relevant in someone with multiple sclerosis. Cannabis could create an amotivational syndrome where people just don't want to do very much. If you use excessive amounts of cannabis for a really long time, there's a very small risk of a hyperemesis syndrome, which is where people will wake up and they'll be nauseated and they'll throw up. Cannabis can have a tolerance, meaning when you use it, you may need to use more and more to have the same effect. And there is rarely a dependence where people become dependent upon cannabis. And if they don't have it, they go through a bit of withdrawal. So I'm not saying that cannabis is evil, and I am a medical marijuana recommender in the state of Ohio, and I have found that it can help a lot of my patients with a lot of things. It can help with pain and spasticity. It can help with insomnia. It can help with anxiety. But it comes with baggage, just like any other chemical that I'm aware of. And so we have to weigh the risks and the benefits of anything that we're going to use to try to help you live your best life. I'll tell you a quick funny story. Years and years ago, I was at an international conference, and all of the investigators from a clinical trial were met up to have like a coffee. And so I was involved in this trial, and I went and I was having my coffee and I was chit-chatting with various
MS neurologists from around the world, and I got into a really fun conversation with an MS neurologist from Israel. And he made a comment and said that in Israel, the government gives people impacted by MS free rolled joints of marijuana. I said, what? Now, this was long before medical cannabis was available in the United States. And I said, why? And he looked at me like I was an idiot. He goes, what do you mean, why? Because it sucks to have MS and it makes them feel better. And I really, really liked that answer.
This how the next one started? That's crazy. In Israel, come on now.
This is medicinal cannabis. It's a highly controlled crop in Australia. There's been a big focus on research and development, trying to maximise production of the cannabinoids in the plants, including THC, which is the psychoactive component that produces a high, but it's also highly prized for its medicinal benefit. Australians are embracing medicinal cannabis in huge and growing numbers.
We now have more than 300,000 patients. There's been more than 1 million approvals for medicinal cannabis. The big three are chronic pain, anxiety, and sleep.
The plant has a million uses. It's a zero waste product. We can use it for fertilizer, we can use it for pet food, pet blankets, toys, nappies, clothing. I mean, the plant can clothe you, it can feed you, it can house you.
So when you see a Rasta rolling a spliff, just know that is a mobile altar. When you go to the Muslims, you see them making fire, burning some things. You go to the Catholic Church, you see them burning some things. We Rasta, we burn ganja and tobacco, love and settlement. Because ganja, tobacco means tabaganya, okutereza, okulongosa. So, in case spiritually, when you see some people fighting or conflicts, you can go aside, you burn this plant. When the smoke goes up, you see something positive. Yo, batabagane, omutonzi waffe yatonda ekitonde kino, Almighty, who created this plant, let the power and the reason for your creation be as the smoke is moving. Katieno, kutabaganya. This is tabaganya. So, the spiritual part of the plant is found in the power.
In our brain, there are millions of cannabinoid receptors, and the body is supposed to produce the endocannabinoids, that within yourself you can generate a chemistry which keeps you always blissful. But the most important aspect of it is, when it comes from outside, maybe it makes you blissful for a brief amount of time, but it makes you unaware. When it comes from within, it keeps you blissful and makes you super aware, which is the important thing. So this is not about trying to become some kind of a superhuman being. This is about realizing being human itself is super. Once you are blissful by your own nature, you always see that your life is super. It doesn't matter, some situations in our life go well, some don't go well, but this one life should be always happening our way.
Cannabis is the most judged and most abused plant on the planet.
Whoa.
And it is the most magical and most powerful. Literally, I akin it to the mushrooms or ayahuasca.
Whoa.
I'm telling you, but it's all about intention.
Yeah.
You see, cannabis is so powerful that it meets you at your intention. So if you're in high school and you want to get high with the homies, you're going to get high with the homies. But if you're in sacred ceremony and you revere the medicine and you say, you know, medicine, teach me, show me my blockages, show me what's holding me back, show me. And you take a hit and you lay down and you play some beautiful music, guess what? It's going to give you a journey.
Wow.
So this is our medicine now.
Wow.
And we're in and out in an hour. Worst case, you get a little munchies, you laugh a little, but that's it.
Let's talk about weed or marijuana from the Ayurvedic perspective. You know, in Ayurveda, it is a medicine. It is not a spiritual agent. It's not going to take you all the way. In fact, it's a tamasic drug. Remember, it was legalized for people with pain. It helps block the pain response. So that's what marijuana actually does. It actually blocks pain. It blocks your ability to feel at a much deeper level. Now, if you're someone with a really busy, overstimulated mind, the marijuana can be used as a medicine to calm that nervous system down, balance their vata, and have them experience deeper levels of silence as a medicine in the direction of spiritual development. But it is not going to take you all the way. In fact, it's understood that the pain and the fear that we have is directly across from the bliss, and the reason for the pain and the fear is to get our attention. So you want to have those messages of pain so you can go to them and through them and free yourself at a deep level.
Okay, so as we let's get into cannabis, get into the books or whatever. Hit the books real quick. This is taking longer than I thought it would. As that load up, this music.
What shall be done with
Hold
the
up,
4
hold up,
million
hold up.
slaves if they are emancipated? This question has been answered and can be.
I know I heard something. What is that noise? That's music. Okay, cannabis, specifically cannabis indica, is presented in the sources as a plant profound and often overlooked history, deep intertwining Africa's the spiritual the spiritual global label system and diverse spiritual traditions, while often viewed as some through the lens of modern prohibition. The sources highlight the role of labor enhancer, a traditional medicine, and a catalyst for political and religious movements. Taxonomy and chemistry. The sources distinguish between the two genetic lineages of cannabis genes, largely defined by latitude and chemistry. Cannabis sativa, originating in a temperature of Central Asia above 335 degree latitude. This lineage was the history and price of Europe and the fiber of hemp and oilseed, but lacked the psychoactive potential. Cannabis indica originated in South Asia. This lineage contains the psychoactive compounds known as cannabinoids and is the ancestor of nearly all the drug type cannabis in the world. THC. This primarily psychoactive compound. CBDC. Influence pain, appetite, and immune response. Notably sacred in many traditions, sub-Saharan African strains. THCV, a rare appetite suppressor found in high concentrations in South Africa. Landrace and Durban poison, which farmers develop by detecting for plants and migration, to migrate hunger. And African roots. Where's all these books coming from? Matter of fact. Oh, okay. It's the same. I think it's the same because I only got one book on marijuana in here. The African roots of marijuana. Let's look at that real quick. Well, I started the next one where I left off first. Okay. The marijuana. Yeah, this book right here. This is the book right here. Damn, the hardcover costs $107. I don't get a magnifying glass, but basically this is it right here. Let me say, you see a little better. I thought they were pregnant. Nigga got a goddamn ball in his lap. There you go. By Chris Duval. But okay, let's get back to this. The African roots of smoking, the critical. Oh, this ain't a long. This is long. God damn, this is long. The African roots, critical insights, sources that dormant global practices and smoke cannabis, smoking cannabis rather than ingesting or it has its roots in Africa. Traditional evidence smoking pipes, Saharan Desert, before Europe contracts in Americas. The earliest direction evidence of cannabis smoking is residue found in the 14th century border pipes in Ethiopia. The sparrow of the Americas. The sources provide strong evidence that enslaved Central Africans led the translated diaspora of cannabis into the captives carried seeds tied to their clothing. In here, it sounds like a goddamn lie. In terms like Macania, that's what they say in Upper Brazil. That's what they call weed in Brazil. And Damea from Angola. Where is Angola? Kimbuk. It says Kimbuktu. Kimbundu. And the Bantu languages travel with them to Brazil. I just said that. And the Caribbeans. I don't even know what this is. Political and labor. Historically. Labor enhances within this. Let's get out the labor. Cognitive control, serial, spiritual. Spiritual is cultural significance. Cannabis is served as a central element in various political and religious movements. The Bina Rabia Congo 19th century movement where cannabis replaced the old religion symbol and was intended to foster peace and community through it was eventually entangled in the regional warfare. The Hito Abu brothers, Marco, a majestic Sufi order that used keef chopped cannabis mixed with tobacco to enhance spiritual trance and obtain bliss, repose. I might want to look up these niggas. And them other niggas. Hold on for a second, Chad. We gotta do some deep dive. Hold up. These ain't the niggas off the goddamn show. Sufi brothers and Marco founded in the 18th century, known as the Patreon Saints of Key Smokers. So these niggas was like the Jesus of weed? The fuck? Members famously practice and live extreme poverty and custom cannabis as spiritual sacrament to induce trance and divine contemplation. Members were easily identifiable by the upkempt appearance, tattered clothing, and deep trance-like devotion. They exist on the fringe of Morocco's rich spiritual heritage, along with other trance and musical brothers such as they ain't got no painting in these niggas. So they got these niggas from goddamn the one show. I guess they ain't got no painting or images of these niggas. I ain't never heard of these niggas. That's interesting. Rastafarian in Colombia, Jamaica. Ganja arrived in Jamaica via both Central African cactus, and it was used in Kumina rituals and endured Indian laborers who viewed it as sacraments. No, I guess these are the names. These are like the nicknames of them. Benji, Traces in South Africa, married Marty Tom, Daga, South Africa, Ganja, Hindi, and Mary Joanna. Mary Joanna. Okay, let's get to the next one. Cause I'm like, got a whole bunch of shit to do. I'm almost at 8. 6. Historical impact reshaped the world. Sugarcane. Historical impact reshaped the world through plantation and capitalism. Sugarcane is not usually framed as an herb, but botanically it is a giant grass. It drove colonization into the Caribbean, Brazil, and South America, in American South, becoming one of the most violent engines of enslavement and global trade. Medicinal, traditional role, energy, deployment, juice, materials which came separation. Historical shadow sweetness built on the forced labor. So let's see what this shit look like. I think this song kind of copyrighted me last time we changed the song. I ain't know you can tell like what song did what. Yo, what's taking shit so long? My connection. My music went off. Subway something. Well, if I get this job, I probably ain't gonna be able to do this no more. Might be going back out of town. I don't know, my connection is slow for some reason. I'm telling you, we gotta stop right here. My cute hat. You know what? Did y'all even hear that YouTube shit? I ain't know my shit was off. My YouTube sound was off the whole time. I don't think y'all even heard any of that YouTube shit. Well, maybe you did. Let me go see something real quick. Let's see something real quick. Yeah, I don't even think my YouTube thing was on. Damn, that's crazy. And my mouth is moving like. Yo, testing. Hold on one second, chat. My shit acting retarded. Gotta disappear for a second. What overlay? What is this? Fucked up. Well, alright. I'm back. Alright, this is sugarcane. That's what it looks like. This is the scientific drawing of it. Let's get into the books. Oh no, I want to get into the let's get some videos. Oops. Let's look at some videos. Oops. I gotta move that out of the way.
Sugarcane is one of the most nutrient-dense foods that there is. Hey, it's sugar, so it boosts energy levels. It aids in digestion. It's full of many nutrients like calcium, magnesium, potassium, iron, and so much more. It boosts your immunity. It regulates blood pressure and is full of fiber. Did I mention it tastes great too? Sugarcane is one of the most
We drink the cane juice.
But did you know that the leaves are excellent for diabetes and gut health?
Oh, Lordy.
For more herbal remedies.
Please remember to get my book, 365
What?
Herbal Remedies to Know
I should
Before
just skip the whole
2025 by
thing.
Vera Woolery on Amazon.
Was that the video?
Drink
Did
the
that?
cane juice. But did you know that the leaves are excellent for diabetes and gut health? For more herbal remedies.
Please remember to get my book.
Well, I'm going to give you the sweetest thing on the planet, cane. There is nothing on the planet that has more acid than cane, and it is sweet. You know what is the acid? They call it glyceric acid. This is why once upon a time it was prohibited to sell sugar. But now it is the highest and most subsidized substance on the planet by government. Sugar is one of the worst stimulants that you could put in your mouth. It is very acid, glyceric acid. So and we think that the something has to be sour to be acid, not so. Well, I'm going to give you the sweetest thing on the planet.
Sugarcane is not just sweetness, it is wealth medicine, attraction medicine, and aura lifting medicine. In many traditions, sugarcane is used to call good spirits, soften hard situation, and draw blessing towards the person using it. It is the energy of sweetness, favor, gentleness, and opens doors. It attracts good luck and favor. Sugarcane pulls positive spirits towards you. It softens the energy around your name and makes people treat you with kindness. It sweetens your aura. If your aura has been hardened by pain, anger, stress, sugarcane restores softness, making you more magnetic and approachable. It removes bitterness from your spirit. When life has wounded you, sugarcane helps you release emotional heaviness and replace it with calmness and joy. Open roads for money and opportunities. In spiritual work, sweetness attracts abundance. Sugarcane draws opportunity, gift, business, favor, and financial flow. It enhances love and connection. It softens relationship, restore communication, and dissolve emotional tension. It is also used for self-love. It balances harsh energies. If someone is facing jealousy, strong words, cursing, and spiritual harshness, sugarcane is used to soften and attack and protect the aura. When life feels so hard, when money is not sticking, when people treat you with hostility, when your aura has lost its sweetness, when your heart is tired, when you need favor, love, and luck, that is when you have to start using sugarcane.
Tips from a doctor. Okay, here are some health benefits of coffee. To help.
Alright, she was talking about something else. Let's get into the oh god. Alright, so this is sugarcane. Play some music. This is from my notebook, from my notes. Sugarcane is discussed as a source as a historical significant tropical crop and a source of various sugars and substances who use refined form and frequent criticized for an impact of health. While sources categories is primary as food and economic commodity, they also detail its role as traditional medicine and profound entanglement within the history of African diaspora. So this one going off back to Eden, yoga herbs, and African holistic. Oh no, this is later Africa shit. Oh, I gotta say all them books. Holistic health, later Africa. So this is a very good book right here, especially for us Americans, African Americans, but I wouldn't say African Americans. Us Black Americans. But yeah, this is a good book right here. Let's get back into this. Oops. Historical and social context. The triangle trade sugarcane was central pillar to the transatlantic slave trade. Enslaved Africans forced to work long, grueling hours in the sugar plantations of West Indies, Brazil, and Americas. The sugar produced was often used to make rum, which was used to trade by more slaves, creating a cycle known as sugar and slave and rum triangle trades. Technological innovation. A black man named was credited to inventing the process to use it for producing white sugar. So a black man invented white sugar. Let's look at this guy real quick. This black man. That's very interesting. I'm about to do a deep dive on him. Was credited for inventing the refined process of white sugar, while the intense improvement in the mineral and metal production. The process applied to sugar, which was source that argues was subsequently turned into a weapon against health. Plantation ecology locations like Jamaica, intensive sugar cane cultivation used up most land, which is often to enslave the population, and inadequate substance of force them to rely on supplements farm for nutrition. I want to get into the spiritual shit. Natural sugar, I guess, give you health benefits. About the technical and medical characteristics. I'm gonna pause this so y'all can read it. And y'all can screenshot it. Okay, every spiritual uses. Medical magic. Sugarcane is listed as traditional herbal magic workbooks. Listed in traditional magic workbooks such as Papa Jim's magic work would utilize in various rituals to signify rulerships is prominent overlord tradition. It comes traditionally sugar is used to reward good behavior, or it's associated with medication of the functioning emotions related to love. So you give a bitch some sugar, give her some chocolate, she gonna forgive you. So the next one is coffee, and we're gonna be done with this section after the 8th one. Our historical impact fueled intellectual revolution, capitalism, and colonial architecture. Not architecture. You know what I mean? Agriculture. Coffee houses became the center of political debate, business, publishing, and revolutionary thought. Coffee helped shape the modern workday and globally stimulated the economy. Medical role stimulant, cognitive enhancer, moderating, caution, conversion, anxiety, insomnia, hypertension, and at critical stress and sensitive people. So it's a good coffee. Oops, I mashed the wrong button. This is the coffee plant. This is the scientific view of the coffee plant. And you never seen a coffee plant before. And motherfuckers got this shit in their house. But yeah, that's fire. Coffee plant. Okay, let's get into some visuals.
Tips from a doctor. Okay, here are some health benefits of coffee to help you feel less guilty about your coffee obsession. And next time someone asks you to cut coffee with them for a month, you can be like, no. And here's why. So multiple studies have shown a link between regularly drinking coffee and decreasing your risk for cardiovascular disease. That includes coronary artery disease, which can cause heart attacks, and congestive heart failure. It also has been shown to lower risk of stroke and actually have some neurocognitive effects where it actually helps improve cognition. Still, everything in moderation. You can't be drinking an excessive amount of coffee because then the risks are going to outweigh the benefits. And if you're pregnant, please consult with your OB with your coffee intake. Now, enjoy your coffee in peace. Tips from a doctor. Okay, here are some health benefits of coffee.
Is coffee good or bad? Most modern research says that drinking less than 3 cups of coffee is very healthy for you. But I disagree. Coffee is a giant industry with very high profit margins. This means that most research is biased to exaggerate the positive benefits or to hide the negative impacts of drinking coffee. Coffee has 0 calories, but it gives you so much energy. How does that make sense? Well, coffee does not give you energy. It just makes it impossible for you to feel how tired you really are. Coffee is like credit card. You're borrowing your future energy for today, and you're gonna be paying interest for that. Is coffee good or
Hoodoo tip number 13, utilize black coffee in your everyday life. Black coffee can be used as an offering to your ancestors on your ancestral altar. It can also be used when you rub down to undo, to break away, unbind anything you don't want on you. And it can also be used to heighten and quicken your spell work. So utilize some black coffee in your life. It's not only just good to energize your spirit, but it can also be used in your spiritual work as well.
You know that you can use coffee to move things out your life or bring things closer to you faster? Girlfriend, what if I don't drink coffee? Listen to me. What you gonna do is you gonna get that good old dark roast coffee. You gonna brew that bitch. You gonna pour it in that good old cup. You gonna go outside, find the eastern direction, and you are going to pray Psalm 23 7 times. You are then going to pour that coffee like how you pour libation with water to your benevolent ancestors, the ones that were filled with all the goodness in their hearts, all the hope of the divine that they saw as the divine, to support you in this work of fulfilling prosperity and abundance or whatever it is that you're trying to bring closer to you, or if it's something that you're trying to move out your way, wherever the fuck that may be. Don't forget to tell those spirits thank you, or whatever spirit you may be working with at that time, and then go about your business. You know that you can use.
Did you know that there is literally a
You know that you can use coffee.
Okay, so now let's get into the coffee thing. Let's get into notebooks, the notes. See what the notes pull up about coffee. Coffee characterizing the source as a powerful stimulant and with a complex history ranging from its origins in Ethiopia to its widespread use as both a social beverage and a controversial substance in various health and spiritual traditions. While it possesses numerous documents, pharmaceuticology, pharmacological actions. The sources frequently emphasize that its potential health risk, chemical pollution, and its availability of natural substance, origins, and historical context. Ethiopian roots. Global spread. Coffee houses established in Constantinople in 1500s and London in 1652, where coffee is sold extremely high price. Social and cultural pairings. North Africa coffee is historically a companion to cannabis. Really, with coffee houses serving as a central social institution for music, storytelling, and conversation. Therapeutic profile actions. The sources identify coffee as possessing a vast array of biological activities, primarily due to its caffeine content. Pharmaceutical actions, medical indications, detoxification in most coffee and garlic igmas, and I don't know how to say this right, enthemas, whatever, are something utilized to detox the body during severe illness. The caffeine stimulates a colon muscle and eliminates waste and cause gallbladder to release its contents. These are warning risks. You can look at this and screenshot it. I want to get into the spiritual, medical, and the folk use. I do not know this word. Asphrodialic. I don't know. Let me see something. I'm trying to see something. That should take a forever. Anyways. A magical tradition, Damiana. Power Damiana is added to coffee to increase sexual potency and to make a lover more willing. That's crazy. I didn't even mean some dark coffee is Damiana. Oblate and positioning and hold on, what is this? You didn't even go to what I was looking for. Yes, that's what I wanted. That's images. Oh.
Aphrodisiac.
Aphrodisiac. Duh, dumbass nigga. In Jamaica folklore traditions, the juice of the cassia plant is sometimes ground into a powder and dropped into a victim's coffee to cause death without trace. What? Coffee can do that? Fasting practice. Some practitioners, such as Elijah Muhammad, mentioned drinking coffee between meals during extended fasts to manage hunger. Though they strong though they are stronger advised against adding, but they strongly advise against adding excess sugar or cream. This is from the book How to Eat and Live. That's a Elijah Muhammad book, and this is for the people that don't know Elijah Muhammad. What's the book called again? Oh yeah. He actually have two of these books. This is book one, and he has another one, book two. I ain't never seen a hardcover. Let's go back to the notes. I think it had more spiritual properties than that, but I guess that's what it got into. Let's look at the zodiac. The coffee have an astrological sign. While we get into that, we're gonna go into the teeth. See what this tea thing talking about, and then that's it for tonight. The historical empire sparked trade, empire taxation battles, and the global ritual culture. Tea-shaped Chinese, British, Indian, Japanese, and American history. It is the central colonial trade and British Empire, the colonial trade, the British Empire, the East India Company, and events leading to the American Revolution. Medicinal roles, antioxidant, stimulant, digestive support, and cardiovascular support, spiritual meaning, ceremonial, discipline, contemplation, and social order. Let's get back into the zodiac sign. So it would be a Leo. Plant action coffee is known as a cardiotoxic and stimulant, speeds up the heart. So it causes repetition nervous system in the heart. It is noted to elevate the blood cholesterol. Sign rulership, the medical astrology Leo, where the sun governs the heart and the arterial circulation and in the back. Complaints associated to Leo, including palpitation, and the heart affection. Previously, areas of coffee stimulate stress. Aries and Mars, plant action. The sources classify coffee as a potent CNS stimulant and anal septic that increases psychomotor stamina. Mars governs fear, stimulants, cold, sluggish. Aries itself rules the head and the face. And while coffee provides mental awareness, it also leads to headaches and brain fatigue. Common in Aries type. Gemini and Mercury, nervous system. Coffee is directly a nerve stimulant, includes wakefulness and the prevention of in sleeping. They got some nervous system ability. Then I got Libra sign. Coffee is powerful and different too. Okay. I got dandelion coffee. I never heard of it. Astrological rules restricted. Oh, because there's different type of coffees. Okay, I kind of get it. Alright, let's get into some visuals. I know I'm everywhere. Oh, no. Yeah, teas. We should talk about teas.
There's literally a tea for everything that you are suffering from. Like you could literally have an ailment or a problem and find a tea to help you out. But we're about to go through them here because y'all said tea. So let's tea. Let's go. Number one, we're going to start with the digestive teas. If you are having bloating, gas, any kind of indigestion, that's when your peppermint tea comes into play. What about nausea, vomiting, motion sickness, okay? Morning sickness with pregnancy. Ginger tea, you're welcome. Instead of taking all them expensive ginger supplements that you gotta buy for the $9.99 on Amazon, just make yourself some tea with some ginger in it, okay? Dandelion tea is also good for the digestive system, particularly the liver, but I'm going to get more into that next. The cold and the flu. There are teas for this, so you don't have to be drinking that orange juice. You have the elderberry tea that can help boost your immunity, fight viral infections. You got your echinacea tea that can help shorten the duration of the cold. I mean, y'all gonna take the supplements anyways, you might as well drink it in a tea. Also, you might want to try the lemon balm tea that has a calming effect. It can also help to relieve some of those cold symptoms. Next, are you feeling stressed out? Are you feeling overwhelmed? There is a tea for that. You can try chamomile tea. That tea is just, it will take you from here to here. It would also help put you to sleep. Lavender tea is also great for anxiety because it will calm you down and it will provide you with some restful sleep. Lemon balm tea is literally considered a mild sedative. It was great for stress and insomnia. There's also valerian root tea, but that's pretty strong and you want to use that short term. Use it short term, not every night. But it's good stuff. Next, the menstrual symptoms. There's a tea for that. Y'all, I told you there's literally a tea for everything. Let's hit this one up. So there's red raspberry leaf tea, which I personally love, and I use so much of it because it's great for when you're pregnant in that third trimester. It helps to tone the uterus. So when you're trying to prepare for all that pushing you're going to be doing, that's when that red raspberry leaf tea comes into play. But it can also come into play, monthly if you need that uterus tone. Then there's the chaseberry tea or the vitex tea that can help reduce the PMS symptoms and balance out your hormones. I've heard a lot about this tea. I've heard a lot of good things about this tea. So look into it, figure out if it's something that can work for you. It's there. It's there for you. What about if you want to support your liver? There's tea for that. You got your milk thistle tea, your dandelion root tea, and you also got your burdock root tea. I keep all of these teas in rotation, okay? My liver is supported. Consider them. Keep them in rotation. I'm not going to say the word detox, but it helps your liver, okay? Next, if your body looking like an inflammation station, you may want to consider turmeric tea. Now, the way I do it, you get some fresh turmeric. That's if you don't want to bother with the powder stuff because you're not sure what's in it, okay? You get the fresh turmeric, you can shave it, peel it, boil it, make it into a paste, put it in the freezer. It's good. Then when you make like a black tea or a green tea or a chai tea, whatever, you add the paste to that with a little bit of non-dairy milk. You mix it together. It is delicious. It's called moon milk. And it's anti-inflammatory. Ginger tea and willow bark tea are great for inflammation as well. Consider that. Next, let's say you're having a UTI or urinary tract infection and associated symptoms. Nettle leaf tea is like a diuretic and can help flush out your urinary system. Then you have uva ursi tea that's like an antimicrobial. And purportedly, it's good for the UTIs as well. Are you coughing? Are you having respiratory symptoms? Mullein tea, good for asthma, bronchitis. It smooths the respiratory tract. You can also try the licorice tea, but keep in mind that could drive your blood pressure up. I didn't even go over the teas for the high blood pressure or the teas for the diabetes because I believe that deserves a video on its own. So if you want to hear about that, let me know. Otherwise, you can head to my page and I got all of this stuff lined out for you. So you can refer to it, you know what I'm saying?
Did you know that the tea that you consume can actually be one of the most powerful energetic spells that you can do to clear your energies? Yeah. Let's talk about it. If you are needing an energetic cleanse, a clearing, I know December 2023 was definitely that time to cry, to rage, to release. Drink this tea. Cinnamon, peppermint, ginger. Mix the three of it and it just tastes so yummy. Add just a little bit of honey. Drink that the night before New Year's Day. That's all I'm gonna say. Yeah, it's gonna be good. Did you know?
What do we think of black pepper?
Did you know?
Well, as you can see, I didn't really wanna. Oops, what am I doing? I didn't really want to type in tea because in my notes because it's you can tea. I mean, tea is basically almost every herb in the book. You know what I'm saying? You can make a tea out of anything. So we're gonna stop it there and gonna get up out of here. And let me leave you with some closing with a closing speech. Okay, so where am I at? So I want y'all guys to remember health isn't just physical. It is mental, environmental, emotional, and spiritual awareness too. I can also say it is astrological as well. Um, a lot of knowledge survived through plants, traditions, and observation long before modern system existed. That's where you get science, which to study the nature and the plants. Um, so don't just consume information, study it, test it, understand it for yourself. This was Plant Therapy episode 1, part 1. More conversations, more herbs, more restoration coming. Until next time, I want y'all guys to stay grounded, stay aware, and take care of yourself.
I attract, I got everything I need. Sometimes I feel like, what's the point of life? I don't want no hoes, I want a fucking wife. Please just leave me alone, I'm just trying to do right. Demons don't want fight, protection on my side. I'm seeing through these lies, seeing through the fairy tale. Had to get healthy, order some herbs and came straight through the mail. My soul is pure and I'm never gonna sin. I love myself and I'm never gonna hate me. My third, I feel like a cyclops. I'm trying to go within, but all these people trying to steal my energy. I'm outside, but I'm tapped and never leave the inner me. I be surfing in dimensions every time I go to sleep. Meditating in my head, I see shit you don't wanna see. What happens when you die? I don't wanna be surprised. I'm going to heaven. Damn. 9 ether being, bitch, I'm up. I got the mushrooms infused in my cup. Once we awake, government out of luck. Andrew Tate shit, I be getting them bucks. Seeing the world for what it really is. The people who run the world, they really sick. The niggas around me told me keep a blick. I told them no, I'd rather keep me a crystal. Not trying to get caught up in this system. Just for them to treat me like I'm not the victim. They're the real snakes, they steady hissing. What's on my plate? I'm done eating chicken. Why is Bill Gates trying to block out the sun? They keeping us down and they do it for fun. They keeping us sleep, we gotta wake up. I'm woke on the beat, Kundalini rise up. Pagan holidays, trick for the tree, that's enough. Y'all stole the whole planet like give me my stuff. They kidnapping children, put them in a truck. Adrenochrome sucking sick, nasty ass. Should be ashamed of yourself what you do for a buck. You steady asking for help, but don't listen up. And if you listen, you do not apply it. I am a master of spiritual science. 9 ether being, bitch, I'm up. I got the mushrooms infused in my cup. Once we awake, government out of luck. Andrew Tate shit, I be getting them bucks. Seeing the world for what it really is. The people who run the world, they really sick. The niggas around me told me keep a blick. I told them no, I'd rather keep me a crystal. Lines made mushroom in my stomach. Never chase, I'm attracting abundance. That's what it means to turn nothing to something. I'ma let you like crystals be rubbing. Hope they know that this is my planet. Haters come cause I am a magnet. Better know that I am a dragon. Shocking demons like I am a static. I'm the creator of my own reality. If I stay off my purpose, God mad at me. Blessings come in my life so magically. Wasn't a spiritual class, but I graduate. Devil had me in grist, but I got away. Let's see what I'ma manifest today. Take the world over, I'ma say hooray. 9 ether being, bitch, I'm up. I got the mushrooms infused in my cup. Once we awake, government out of luck. Andrew Tate shit, I be getting them bucks. Seeing the world for what it really is. The people who run the world, they really sick. The niggas around me told me keep a blick. I told them no, I'd rather keep me a crystal. 9 ether being, bitch, I'm up. I got the mushrooms infused in my cup. Once we awake, government out of luck. Andrew Tate shit, I be getting them bucks. Seeing the world for what it really is. The people who run the world, they really sick. The niggas around me told me keep a blick. I told them no, I'd rather keep me a crystal.